Okay, hello. It looks like I'm live. So, just a quick story. I switched internet providers and I do not get internet in my basement. So, I am using um my phone's hotspot and I am praying that everything works. Okay, I hope y'all have had a good past couple of weeks. Um It has been an interesting one for me. If you haven't already seen one of my videos regarding my former, definitely check that out. Still getting over that. But nonetheless, nobody will ever take my shine or my energy or my loving, ness away. So tonight we are getting into protection magic. Last week we talked a little bit about money. And so today we are talking about protection. I sent a handout or I posted a handout on the posting announcements or like where I post memes and stuff. The link to get that handout. So if you are looking to get access to that handout, it's going to send me a request and I will grant the request once you try to access it. All right. Before we talk about this handout, it looks very similar to the money one that I put up last week. Um, Protection. This is a big topic, especially when it comes to those who practice in the spiritual field, right? Because we all need protection in some form or way, whether it is direct protection against someone or something, or if it is, sorry, my phone, I turn it down and it turns itself back up. Or it is just a general protection from, everyday occurrences. You could be walking down the street and someone could just be, having a bad day and send some negative energy your way. So it doesn't always have to be against one particular person. And it can also be against using protection against like entities and things of that nature, things you can't really, well, some people see, some people don't see, but those type things. But nevertheless, always protection. A good rule of thumb when it comes to protection work, I tell everyone this: it is always good to cleanse, then protect. Case in point, as I was doing my video, and I should have brought my candles down with me. As I was doing the video where I was talking about my former godfather, I started burning a banishing candle, which is a form of protection, but it's a form, really more so a form of cleansing, rather. Um, and also return to sender candle. I burnt those at the same time. I cleansed at the same time that I was protecting. Why did I do that? Well, because I needed to counteract the energy that was headed towards me, unbeknownst to me until some further conversations along the way, where I need to cleanse and then protect. And I actually have to get ready to cleanse my home because I need to cleanse my home again with some floor wash and washing the walls, carpets, all that stuff. And then I'm going to burn another return to sender candle. And this is going to be more of a general candle. But my last candle, return to sender candle, which is a form of protection, was directed at him. And the reason why is because you have to remove what's there first, right? You have to remove what energy may have creeped through the cracks, or even, cleansing your own energy, right? Before you can protect, because protection is like a sealant. That's the best way I can describe it. So, like, for example, you wouldn't just go and, like, if you have wooden floors in your home, oh my goodness, if you have wooden floors in your home, you wouldn't just go and wax them, and clean them up and make them look all pretty without cleaning it first, right? That would just be silly. Why would you put a sealant on your floors or waxing a car? Why would you wax a dirty car, which is a better example, um, when it's dirty? It's because you're sealing in all of the dirt and all of the grime and stuff. So always cleanse first. Now, we will talk a little bit about cleansing. Probably should have did that before we got into protection, but it's okay. You can cleanse a number of ways. My go-to methods are baths and candles. Okay. And then that way, when you're sealing in that protection, you're not sealing in dirty or negative energy. You are cleaning and sealing in the cleansed area, the cleansed person, whatnot. So that is my that is my suggestion. I was trying to come up with another adjective. Didn't really happen. Anyway, so you can protect a number of ways. Hey, Candace, you can protect a number of ways. Where we're going to talk about candles. I just love candles. Candles, fire. I've always been obsessed with fire. Fire is a really good type of energy transference. So we're going to talk about candles, but we can also talk about other protection methods. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into candles first. I am frozen on the screen. Okay, good. I'm not frozen now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into candles on it, right? We're going to get into the handout where we're going to just kind of go through this, and then we're going to continue this chat on. So when it comes to computer, all right, this handout, you'll see, okay, materials for money magic. Whoops, protection magic. They're going to be pretty much the same. Anytime you're doing any kind of candle magic, you have to have a candle, you have to have oil, petition. If you're doing the hoodoo method, then you can use the psalm verses, your herbs, candle holder. You can use the moon phases if you choose. It's not always necessary, but if you choose, again, the reason why I say that is because everything that you do in magic, they're building blocks. Okay. Everything that you add is a building block of energy. So you're just really enhancing work. When it comes to prepping your space on the handout discussing, we talked about this where you want to make sure that you have your area cleansed, whether it is with, water and ammonia, a little bit of water and bleach, or Florida water, whatever kind of spiritual water that you may have. That's a good cleansing agent. Incense, which is not really on here. I don't think it's on there, but incense are a good way to also enhance and cleanse your space. If you don't have incense, in different types of sage sticks. Most people generally use white sage, but there are other different kinds out there that you can use. Now, a good protection sage stick would be like white sage with dragon's blood resin on it. So it literally looks red, but it's like colored red, but it's white sage. That's a good protection one. You can use rue. Rue is a really good smudge stick. It is not a type of sage. It is a totally different herb on its own, but rue. You use my Florida water. Oh, thank you there. Rue is really, really good. I absolutely love rue. I'll use rue over white sage any day. You can use Yerba Santa, which is a really good herb. That is, again, it's not white sage. It is a totally different herb. But those are like my go-to really strong, like the stronger smudge sticks, okay, when you're cleansing your area. All right. Now, on this particular handout, you can see that there are other types of verses that you can use where if you need to protect yourself from people, you would use Psalm 64. If you need to protect yourself from like a group of people that are persecuting you or things of that nature, you can use Psalms 12. And if you just need to reverse general evil or negative energy, you could use Psalms 34. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into that. You can look those up on your own just in case you want to use it. Now, as you're preparing your space and you have your candle, I'm not sure if I covered this last week or not, but you would use these Psalms verses as you are burning the candle. I suggest, and because everything is energy, especially everything is energy in spell work, is to look into the flame, meditate on that verse, read it out loud. Try not to read it in your mind because, or any type of incantation that you're using, just not Psalms, because that the spoken word is again much more energetic. You're speaking literally energy into that flame. Um, so when it comes to candle colors, you can use white, you can use black, you can use a combination of white and black. However, I'm going to give a caveat when using black candles, and I'm going to talk about the colors. White, scientifically, white is a reflection of all colors. Okay, so it reflects or refracts. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it's the absence of color, right? Black is the presence of all colors. Okay, so it's how they say when you want to go outside and it's a hot day, don't wear black because it's going to absorb all of the energy. Well, you got to think about it in the sense of candles as well. White is going to reflect all energy, black is going to absorb all that energy. So, if you are looking to cleanse, I actually suggest using a black candle. However, some people are afraid to use black candles because black is associated with evil and things of that nature. Um, it's not evil, it's just the color black. And so when you're looking at white candles, it's a reflection, right? But you can use white if you need to reflect out things, or if you're using black to absorb the negative energy to burn it off. So it really just depends on your preference. Okay. That's the reason why I put that there. Now you can use white and black if you need to draw in the protection and then send something else out, because most black and white candles most come with like white on the top and black on the bottom. So going back to our whole scientific thing, right, where white is a reflection of things, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing at the top of that candle before it gets down to the black is that it's going to project out. So if you need to cleanse and project out, like, hey, don't mess with me, and then you can use white, and then you can banish at the bottom. I really wish that black was on top first, because it's the cleansing, it's the getting rid of, it's you can use these color candles for cleansing and protection. So it just depends on what you want to do first. I hope that makes sense, because again, I'm not a scientist, okay, when it comes to colors. Now there are different types of, if that didn't make sense, just let me know, I can clarify it. But there are different types of oils that you can use. There's so many different types of oils. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the different types of oils that I make, and then I have a list of herbs that's over to the side so that you can use any combination of these herbs and such to make your own oils. Okay. You have, like, there are some, like the war oil that I have. It's dual nature. It's a hexing and a protection type deal, but you don't necessarily have to use it for the hexing part. Very popular is Fiery Wall of Protection. That is a very voodoo oil. You have uncrossing oil, and you can use actually just a general anointing oil. Okay, like I have an altar oil. Some of the essential oils that you can use would be like the patchouli, sage, lavender. Let me do a side note here when it comes to using flowers and things like that. Flowers, lavender is a flower. But lavender is also a really good protection uh, herb, even though it smells sweet. I wouldn't use all flowers when it comes to protection work, only because not all of them have the same characteristics, right? So when it comes to lavender, again, you have to think about what's the word that I want to use? you have, what's the word that I want to use? You have to look at the nature of the herb, right? Where it comes to like relaxing, calming. So if you need to protect and you need to calm down your environment, these are things you have to think about before deciding if you want to use the herb. If you don't need any of that, then don't use the lavender, right? Patchouli is another different herb that is dual in nature. It is protection as well as love. Some people use it in money works. It just doesn't call to me when it comes to money. So I stay away from the patchouli, but definitely I would use it in protection. Okay. And or love. Okay. Now let me talk about lemon and lime. These are one of my favorite herbs, or not herb, one of my favorite things to use when it comes to magic. Really, yeah, just lemon or lime. I won't use orange because I was going to generalize and say citrus fruits, but no. Lemon is really good for cleansing and protecting. I'm going to tell you something here, and it's not in the handout. If you need to cleanse your home, this is another hoodoo method. If you need to cleanse your home, you can take and cut lemons in half and insert a clove of garlic into the middle. And you would take that lemon and that garlic clove and you would put it in all the corners of your home. Okay. So if it's just a room, some people are confined to one room when it comes to their magic, then do it in oh, okay, I'll put that link there for you. You can put that you can put that in the corners of your room, or you can put it in the corners of your house. I suggest putting it in all corners. The reason why is because negative energy tends to collect in corners. It's just what happens because it goes unnoticed. It's not really, utilized for the most part. So as you're leaving it there, it will turn black if it collected a lot of negative energy, or it will remain, like a shriveled up piece of fruit if it wasn't, as ridden with negative energy. Um, Lemon is also good to sour situations. But again, it's also good to cleanse. You got to think about it. Lemon is in like all types of cleansing and protecting. Now, cleansing and protecting, I'm just going to say this. You're probably going to hear me talk about both of them a lot because they tend to go hand in hand. Again, you really can't have protection without cleansing. So I'm going to be talking about these interchangeably. But lemon with garlic helps to protect. Lemon by itself helps to cleanse. Think about cleaning products. Most of them smell like lemon. And there's a reason for that. It's because that lemon is like a signal in our brain that says, oh, things are fresh, things, are clean, things like that. So, cedar wood, also about cedar wood. I will tell you this though, cedar wood is very hard to burn. I have tried to burn cedar wood like Palo Santo, the wooden pieces. Um, if you want to get some chips, then maybe it might do a little bit better when it comes to using it on top of a charcoal disc. It's like a circle charcoal disc that's made specifically for incense, where you can powdered incense, where you could put a little top on top, and it's like not like charcoal you put in on the grill. Totally different. But cedar leaves are also okay to burn. It's still also a little hard to burn. Yeah, I've tried and I like it's dried or it's a mess. So that's just my caveat there if you want to try to work with cedar. It's just not my favorite. I tend to stay away from it, okay? All right. So the other different types of herbs over there, um I'm gonna tell you what I use mostly. I don't use a lot of these. You can. I like angelica root, because okay, so yeah, it's not just me. Yeah, the cedar leaves. Mm. Um, I like angelica root. Okay. Aloe vera is good because, again, it protects the skin, like from burns and things of that nature. So, again, we're thinking about the medicinal uses of herbs and how they translate to the metaphysical as well. But angelica root helps with protecting of children. Okay. I really like angelica root. I use anise or star anise, or sometimes I find it interchangeably uh, called star anise, which is like the seed pod, but it's like a star, literally. Um, I like it, but I can't always tolerate the smell because it smells like licorice, and I don't really like licorice. Um, Angelica root is my favorite. Bay leaves, you need bay leaves in protection, but you can also use it in money. I don't really tend to use it when it comes to money. I do use cinnamon. Cinnamon, let me talk to you about cinnamon. Cinnamon is it's an herb that you can use in money. You can use a lot of these in money. You can also use it in protection. And the reason why it's a really good protection herb is because of the heat that cinnamon generates. I don't know if you remember this challenge like a few years ago, which I don't know why it was a challenge. I don't even know where these challenges come up from. But anyway, where people were taking spoonfuls of cinnamon and putting it in their mouth. Well, if you put enough, it will be hot. It will be hot. Cinnamon is also an herb of Shango because of that heat, that fiery heat. So if you need to add a little bit of fieriness, cinnamon is a good herb to use. Cypress is good, but that is a much calmer type of herb. So I will use it more so with peaceful protection versus like gung ho protection. I tend to gravitate towards the hotter things when it comes to like a strong protection. Cypress is also an herb of Obatala. Okay. No, I have never used bay leaves from the Caribbean. That I did not know that. You said Bayam. I'm gonna have to look that up. You said it's using Bayam. I'm gonna have to look that up. I have not. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing. Uh, Five finger grass, again, that's not really a very strong herb, but it is a milder herb because when it comes to five finger grass, or as I always butcher the more scientific cinquefoil, whatever. Um, it's more of the protection, the happiness, always drawing those types of things in protection, happiness, success, love, and I forget the fifth one. Or I don't even know how many I named. But uh, mistletoe helps to protect against enemies. Who would have? I guess that's why, everything has a story if you really think about it, but everything has a story. When mistletoe, you think of kissing under the mistletoe, right? And it's not necessarily love, but it could be more so of protecting from outsiders and in that loving space, because under the mistletoe is a space of cleansed energy. Who knows? White mustard seeds, you can use this to protect against harm. There are also black mustard seeds that's generally used more so in hexing type works. You can use yellow mustard seeds too when it comes to protection. I would stay away from the black mustard seeds. Only because that's generally used towards the hexing type of works. I use black mustard seeds in one of my oils. I forget. I lose track of them after a while. Excuse me. Onions. People don't really think about things that they have in their kitchen, and onions are one of those things, right? Think about this. I don't know if you've ever heard of if you have a cold, then to put onions on the bottom of your feet. You sleep with onions on the bottom of your feet with socks on, and it is known to draw out the toxins from your body. So, according to Chinese medicine, our hands and our feet, as called reflexology, certain places on our hands, on our palms, and certain places on our feet correspond to different organs in our body. And so, you know, a lot of this knowledge, and I'm going into a sidebar here, a lot of this knowledge, westernized, I'll just say this, westernized knowledge um, really leaves out a lot of the benefits when it comes to different herbs or different magical works. But if you look more Eastern, where a lot of people tend to practice more holistic types of protection and magic and things like that, then you'll find that, yeah, you see, yeah, the onion on your feet as a child. You'll find that a lot of the practices in the more eastern part of the world, they mesh, right? So a lot of the information kind of it goes kind of hand in hand as you look and study more of the different types of paths, not just ATRs, African traditional religions, but when it comes to Ayurveda, I think, yeah, Ayurvedic medicine, or Chinese medicine, or geez, a whole lot of them. I'm not even gonna name them all, but yeah, okay, that's my little sidebar there. Parsley, it's okay, I do like thyme though, because it helps to protect money. It's a very pungent herb. I don't know if you cook with thyme, but it's pungent and you can taste it in food. And it is very pungent as an essential oil. It's overwhelming. So, although it's not a heat like herb, like I said with the cinnamon, um, it is a pungent herb. So, if you need something strong, like with thyme, then you can use thyme or yarrow roots. Here's my other favorite. Okay, fennel I like as well, and I really like dill. Fennel is another one of those licoricey type smells, and dill and garlic. Those are like my favorites when it comes to protection because they are stronger. They are stronger in smell. They are stronger energetic wise. Okay. Um, I talk about holly, lucky hand root. You can see the list there. Mint is one of the weaker ones. You can use like mint in combination with thyme to keep your money, but also protect it at the same time. So that could be a good oil combination, right? If you want to make an oil. If Okay. If you wanted to combine any of these, always remember if it does not speak to you, then don't use it. Okay. Um, Always follow your instinct because if you decided to make an oil with all of these herbs, you would be all over the place. That is not my recommendation. Okay. So pick, 3 to 5 and start there. Only as you begin to practice with the combination of herbs will you get um, the inclination to add maybe 10 herbs to an oil. I don't have a lot of oils that have that many herbs in it because I don't want to overwhelm the energy of the oil. I want it to remain focused on one particular intent, sometimes two intents. I do not go beyond two intents, two, that sounds intense, 2 intents per oil because if you add too much, the oil really won't know what it's doing. Okay. It's like I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm over there, I'm over there. And that's not going to help, if you're deciding to use it or if you're making it to sell to someone else or to give to someone else, etc. Yeah, it will be chaotic energy. And don't forget my little secret there, of course, focusing on the energy of the herb, focusing on the energy of the intent of the oil, but also enhancing it even more by speaking to it. So if you haven't watched, here, I'm going to try to pull up that link, love, while we're sitting here. If you have not watched What the Bleep Do We Know, which is a really good documentary, I am going to put that link. It's free on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to put that link here in the chat. So I am not on, oh, I hit my brand new microphone. Uh-oh, I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm going to add this. Hopefully it doesn't start playing. Oh, internet connection is moving to use my hotspot on my phone. All this down here, and I'm like, what is really going on? Okay, so I put the What the Bleep Do We Know that you can watch for free on YouTube. And this is really going to go into the background explanation on why I let some of my products listen to certain things. One of the reasons why I made different affirmations on my YouTube channel is so that my products can listen to those things. Uh-oh, my voice is cutting up. Oh no, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me? All right, before I continue talking, I do not want. I am here. Oh no. All right, hold on. All right, is this better? Still cutting up. Oh, it's got to be my signal down here. Okay, is this better? I may have to take class outside or upstairs. I tend to come down here because I don't want my son screaming, but you may get class next week from the view of my recliner. Sorry, but no, it's not better. Okay. Okay. Testing. If it is not better, I am going to just take out the rest of what I was going to say. So, hello, testing. No, oh crap. Okay, I am going to add the link to the herb book. Please stand by. Oh, now it's better. Okay. So good. So let me go ahead and add the link to the herb book. Bear with me. Let me go grab it. Right now, I put the link to What the Bleep Do We Know. And so now I am going to add the link for the herb book. Okay, so stand by for me. Also, while I am looking for that, I do want to ask for anyone that is here, if you all are finding, this class helpful, if you would like to, why is that doing? That's too much. Hold on. Let me. Okay, there's the herb book link there. It should, okay, so it should be. Um, I am putting together, so class right now, although we are talking and going through the material, soon it's going to be ramping up a little bit more. Um, oh, okay, so yeah, what's today? Uh, hold on. What's today? Today. Oh, yes, you will. You will. I have I had to get some more oil. I'm just gonna be truthful with you. I ran out of oil. I just got it today. Gonna send it out tomorrow, my love. I did not make the connection that you were the same person. So cool. So yeah, you'll definitely get it. Oh, what was I thinking? What was I saying? Oh, yes. I'm going to be ramping up class here just as soon as we can get moved. It will be within the next uh couple of months here. So I'm going to create this whole studio, things like that nature. So if you're enjoying the class, if you're learning anything, and if you're willing to do a just a very small video testimonial, I can send over some information to you, like really short clip. Then let me know, and I got you, Candace. All right. So the herb book, what the bleep do we know? We talked about protection. Now, before we close out class, I do want to give you some information. Oh, thank you. On cleansing. Okay. Like I said, we're not going to go too deep into it now, but I will give you some little clips on cleansing. We will talk a little bit more in depth, especially when it comes to baths on cleansing. So, and then we'll go into love because everyone loves love, right? So, cleansing, there are some really basic hoodoo methods of cleansing, like ammonia and water. I have always been very scared to put ammonia because I'm always been scared to put ammonia in my bath water because I'm just very iffy when it comes to very harsh chemicals like that. Like I was cleaning out my tub and I was like, oh, I don't have any more bleach. I'm going to pour ammonia. Well, I almost knocked myself out because I forgot how strong ammonia is. So all you really need in a full tub of water is like a teaspoon of ammonia. You don't need a whole lot. If you're willing to do that, it is a good cleansing method because again, when it comes to hoodoo, you really got to think about what was available to people during that time. Okay. Really good cleansing herbs. Deal, like I said, is a good protection herb, but it is also a good cleansing herb as well. If you want to do a basic cleansing bath, if you don't want to do ammonia, you can add lemon slices and sea salt. Very basic. It will get the job done. Okay. I know, right? I really almost knocked myself out. I don't know why I did that. And I just poured it too, girl. I was just pouring it. Oh, my family was looking at me like I was crazy. Um, I had a moment there. So, okay, lemon and sea salt. You can slice lemons up, put some sea salt in there. Boom, good to go. Um, you can also, those are really two basic ones that I tell people. Rosemary is also really good for cleansing and protection. And I'm going to give you a little hint here. All right. We talked about cleansing. We talked about protection just briefly. When we talked about cleansing briefly, we talked about protection. Cascarilla, okay? I'm going to spell that here. Cascarilla it's broken up eggshell powder. This is a very good protection. It's not really a herb because it's a good protection chalk because it's like a chalky type material. Well, it's eggshells. It's just ground up very, very fine. That's really good for protection. It's also a really good sealant. Yes, good. And you can also use cascarilla as a chalk to draw a circle around you for any type of work that you're doing, to draw protection symbols anywhere, like really good. And also, as a note, I'm not sure if you use cascarilla like this or not. I don't know, but I'm going to say it. You can put it on the back of your neck because this is where a lot of evil energy likes to try to enter. I'm going to tell you a little story. I don't know if I told you the story or not. I was doing a reading. This is when I was doing readings in my home, and I had like this office where I had my altars. Y'all probably saw on the other videos or whatnot, where I was doing readings in this room in my office and whatnot, and I would keep the door closed. And that house was very energetic. So like I had this bathroom that was oh wow, drawing the circle is interesting. Thanks for the oh good, yes. So because it creates a boundary for energy to enter or to exit, like or keep in energy or to keep out energy. Um in this room, in this house rather, it was very energetic. It was like it was my ancestors, and it was just like a lot of other people coming in and out because the way the house was set up was that my bedroom and my daughter's bedroom was towards the back of the house, but then there were these two bedrooms at the front. So one of those bedrooms at the front was my office, and then there was a bathroom right there. And there was this mirror in the bathroom that always rattled. It always rattled. And it would rattle at certain points of the day because it was a portal. It was like energy going in and out. I didn't really bother too much, with it going in and out. And I was just like, whatever. Okay. Y'all just, for us. Anyway, so there's this one time I'm doing a reading, and then I'm like, okay, I think I need to seal up this portal because somebody was, came in and they were like, oh, she's doing readings. Yes, this is my time to jump in. And so they did. They tried to enter in the back of my neck and try to try to take over my body. And I was like, yo, hold up. We're not going to do this. But I'm telling you this story because they tried to enter in the back. And if I was not strong enough, then yeah, it was really interesting. I've channeled before, so I was familiar with the feeling, but I never had anybody try to forcefully channel because it was somebody totally different that I was doing it. Like I was reading, I was communicating with someone else for this mother and daughter, not this spirit, but this spirit decided that it was going to just try, and it turned on the radio and all this other stuff. So I acknowledged him and was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. I see that you're trying to, communicate to someone who's open. And, after I did the reading and finished up, I just told him, I was like, hold on a second, let's not do this right now because I'm working with these clients. I had to, do some candle work and help to release him because he was very, very, very frightened and scared. And he was just really happy that somebody could talk to him and somebody could feel him. Anyway, so usually I had some other protection stuff up, but I did not protect the back of my neck. So that was a lesson learned. Okay. So if you're ever doing any kind of readings or especially if you're channeling or if you are communicating with dead people, make sure you protect the back of your neck. I learned that lesson. All right. Yeah, it was really sad energy. It was, oh my God, and they were looking at me like, what is happening? They were like, oh my God, what is happening? Because he started the spirit, he started turning on the radio that I had in that room, and it was like staticky. It wasn't connected to anything. So it was interesting. But yeah, okay, I'll digress there. And that is where I'm going to conclude this class. Always, always, always protect yourself, right? So any work really that you're doing, always protect yourself, okay? I've got stories for days on protecting yourself. Just like the candle I was burning that I mentioned at the beginning of a class, the return to sender candle, it burned black. I've got to burn another one because I've got to protect myself and my family, okay? So that is a caveat lesson here. If you're burning a protection candle and it does burn black, and it's burning black, not because you put a lot of oil or you put a lot of herb in it, then burn another one until it burns clear. That's with any candle, because any candle that burns black, it's burning off some type of energy that is not original to your intent. Okay. So it's not always negative energy, but Most times it is, okay? Most times it is. So that was fun. Next week we are going to, excuse me, we're going to talk about, oh, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about cleansing. Um, if you want to cleanse your house, basic things you could use. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it next week because now I'm about to go into a caveat. That's been my word today, caveat. Um, that's not related to this class. So for readings, I am doing readings a little bit, not really doing too many readings. But I am doing readings. I just have to do readings a little bit differently because, baby boss, he tells me when he dictates my day. So I am doing recorded video readings for people, right? So I upload them to a private link. So only that person that has the link can view them. And I do tend to take about a week to complete them, only because I really never know what's going to happen day to day. Like 2 days ago, I was able to really get some work done because my friend slash employee, I don't really call her that, but my friend, she was over helping, but she was watching him while I was trying to get some work done. And he was really good. But fast forward to today, no, day before yesterday, he was really good. Yesterday, he was like, no, I want my mama. He's attached to my hip. And I know this is temporary. So I'm really trying to soak it up while at the same time balancing this whole work life thing. So to answer your question, yes, I am. It's going to take me longer to complete them. Okay. So I will post up, you know what? I will post up that link and on YouTube on the where I don't really know what you call it. It's a community tab that it shows up on YouTube. So I'll post the reading link there. So if anyone's interested in getting that done, then that's where it will be. All right. I guess that's it. Yes, we'll talk about cleansing. We'll talk about what did I say? Cleansing. Oh my goodness, my brain is shutting down. We're going to continue next week. All right. I love each and every one of y'all. I've had a blast, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.